The king of all media has been reduced to being a useless pawn. And unsurprisingly, Howie Stern is not taking rejection well. Unlike his bestie Jim Kimmel, Howie's not used to being a huge embarrassing failure. But the situation has gotten so bleak. The end is approaching at such a rapid pace that Howie's own staff is starting to turn against him, which is somewhat surprising because throughout his career, Howard Stern has always been able to rely on the loyalty of his staff and his audience. Now, obviously, his audience abandoned him 10 years ago, and his staffers, they are frantically searching for parachutes as they desperately try to jump off this bruised caboose. Believe it or not, Uncle KC has actually met Howard Stern before. I didn't meet him in person, but I did speak with him for several minutes on the phone. Like most dudes in the 90s and 2000s, I was a daily listener of the Howard Stern Show. When I was in my mid to late 20s, Howard Stern got on social media and he announced that he was going to drunk dial fans of the show. This was during a major holiday. It might have been Christmas Eve or Thanksgiving, maybe New Year's Eve, something like that. I sent him a message with my phone number. A few minutes later, got a call from a private number. He asked about my life, heard my dogs barking in the background, so he asked about them. Talked about the show, which at the time, the Stern Show was still incredibly popular. He couldn't have been nicer. Call lasted 5, maybe 10 minutes. I highly doubt that he remembers it, but for someone who grew up wanting to do this for a living, it was a call that I'll never forget. Unfortunately, the Howard Stern that called Uncle KC, the Howard Stern I spoke to that day, he no longer exists. Howard has transitioned to Howie. If Prime Howard Stern was threatened by competition, he would destroy him. If you don't believe me, go ask John DeBella. When the new and improved Howie is threatened by competition, he throws a temper tantrum. He's filled with jealousy and resentment. He complains to his bestie Jim Kimmel. Jim, Sirius is treating me like poo. They don't care about me anymore. They're obsessed with some girl named Alex Cooper. All she does is talk about sex with men. I like wiener too. How come no one wants to hear me ride the Sibian? Headline at the New York Post. Howard Stern can't stand Alex Cooper and avoids her in New York City. There is a reason Howard Stern is threatened by Alex Cooper. There is a reason he's jealous. There's a reason he's full of resentment. For the first time in his career, Howie realizes that he is no longer the king of all media. For the first time in his career, Howie knows that he's a huge embarrassing failure. And for the first time, he knows there's not a damn thing he can do about it. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Chapter. One thing most people don't realize until it's too late, dealing with Medicare can be an overwhelming experience. There are countless plans, rules, penalties. Calling the government for help? Good luck with that. Fortunately, though, there is help available, and that's where Chapter steps in. Chapter is an advocate for seniors to help you choose the right plan for your needs. Chapter is completely independent, which means they're only incentivized to find the right plan for you. Uncle Casey actually tested their services. My mom, she turned 65 back in January. Now, both of my parents, they already had insurance plans, but I had my mom call Chapter anyway. Long story short, Chapter told my parents that they already had the best plan available. There was no need for them to change. Chapter actually found them a plan that would save them a couple of $100 every month. However, Chapter explained to my parents that their current plan would save them more money in the long run. So, since they can afford it monthly, Chapter advised my parents to keep their current plan. Telling my parents to keep their current plan, that was of no financial benefit to Chapter, but that's the kind of honest service that they provide. Look at it like this. If you were wrongfully sued, you're not gonna go to court without a good lawyer, right? So why would you deal with the hassle, the confusion of Medicare without an advisor? Even if you already have coverage, Chapter might be able to find you a better plan. You literally have nothing to lose. It's free. So call today, 510-279-3616. Have Chapter find the right plan for you. Last year, Alex Cooper, she left Spotify and moved her show to Sirius XM, signed a 3-year deal worth $125 million. To be honest with you, I really don't know how Sirius is still in business. When they initially launched over 20 years ago, they filled a specific need in the market. It was uncensored radio, it was commercial-free music, gave hosts a national platform for their shows. It was a good business model. Back then, their only competition was terrestrial radio. Today, they are competing with dozens of platforms where users don't have to pay monthly for it. But either way, Sirius believed that Alex Cooper was worth an investment of $125 million. Well, Casey, I bet that's why Howard Stern is jealous. They're offering Alex Cooper money that should be given to him. That's not why Howie is jealous. That's not why Howie is terrified to be in the presence of this young woman. For starters, he might be terrified of Alex Cooper because he doesn't know her vaccination status. She's constantly talking about the fornicating. That's very dangerous. She's exposed to all those germs. I also heard that she doesn't practice the fine art of social distancing. Please keep this walking disease away from me. Call Aunt Fauci. Tell him to supersize the rod. I need him to passionately poke me again. It's not the money that's bothering Howard Stern. Sirius has made countless deals like this in the past with other popular hosts. They signed a $100 million deal with Jason Bateman, and Howie had him on the show to promote it. Although, I don't know why Jason Bateman agreed to that appearance. Howie's audience has dwindled down to 125,000. Most of those are probably bots who have been programmed to listen to the show. The reason Howard Stern hates Alex Cooper, it's because she is the new chosen one. She is who Sirius XM has chosen to replace Howard Stern. The jealousy, the resentment, it is eating away at the remains of his career, which are minuscule at this point because the woke fungus has devoured most of Howard Stern's career. But the jealousy and resentment, it is eating away at him because Howard Stern knows there's absolutely nothing he can do about it. It's over. According to his staff, who spoke anonymously to the New York Post, they knew the demise of the show was coming since last year. Last year? The rest of us saw the demise coming over 10 years ago. Stern Show staffers, they have known since last year that Sirius was going to force him into retirement. But Sirius, they don't want an official divorce. They're asking for more of a separation. According to The Sun, Sirius XM is going to make an offer to Howard Stern. Now notice, I did not say Howie. They're not willing to pay Howie, but they are willing to pay Howard Stern. I'll explain what I mean. Sirius is willing to pay for his archives. They're willing to pay for his catalog. If I had to guess, they're probably wanting to pay for the catalog of shows from the 80s to around 2011, 2012. After that, the rest of his catalog is completely worthless. But what does that tell you? Tells me that Sirius still sees value in Howard Stern but they see absolutely no value in Howie. The Stern of the 90s, still worth something. The Artie Lang era, still quality entertainment. People are still interested in his career. People are still interested in the historical content. But no one has any interest in listening to the new and improved Howie. Before he left for summer vacation with Jim Kimmel, where Howie and Jim are taking romantic walks on Mediterranean beaches, my inside sources, they told me that they made room in the bed for Stevie Colbert once they heard he got fired. But before he left, Howie informed his staff that he was going to retire. Now, he can call it retirement if he wants, but the truth is, Howard Stern got fired. Sirius XM determined that there is no longer value, there's no longer interest in this polished turd. And I think this is only the beginning. We're starting to see a shift in the media. All of these pawns who were used to spread propaganda, all these pawns who are willing to embrace the woke wiener, they're getting fired. You're no longer allowed to underperform and keep your job. Joy Reid, fired. But KC, Joy Reid is a huge success on Substack. She's doing amazing. Yeah, Joy Reid is doing well for herself. She definitely appeals to a niche audience. But she was fired by MSNBC because she doesn't appeal to a mainstream audience. Stevie Colbert, fired. Howard Stern, fired. Jim Kimmel, soon to be fired. You either step up or you'll be forced to step aside. The truth is, Howard Stern lost his passion years ago when he lost that lawsuit against Sirius where they refused to pay him for bonuses that he thought he deserved. The show was officially over. But the thing about Howard Stern, he's always seemed to thrive when he's got an enemy. He's always seemed to thrive when everyone counted him out. It's entirely possible that he launches his show elsewhere, or maybe a different kind of show on HBO, Netflix. The problem is, at 71 years old, I question how much fight Howard Stern has left. What do you think? Is Howard Stern going away? He's damn sure leaving Sirius, but will he fade away from the spotlight? Or do you think he will try to compete with Sirius and take them down like he's always done in the past? Me personally, at 71 years old, I don't think Howard Stern has enough fight left in him. But you tell me. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.